After a month, it is finally Gubble time. Now, I said earlier in my Too Many Games pickup video,
it looks terrible.
Actually, take that back. After briefly researching the game, Gubble doesn't look as bad as I thought. It's a puzzle game and it has a very unique premise. You pick up various tools and take apart 104 different stages. The game was developed by Actual Entertainment, and their motive was to make a non-violent, family-friendly game. Well, now the company is called Lazinger Entertainment, after Franz Lazinger, who was involved in making Crystal Castles, one of my favorite arcade games. Also, even though I have the PS1 version, and it being the most common, there's an HD version of Gubble for the PC, so let's review that one. I got this game from the Gubble website for only $5. The website looks very outdated. It may have been created in Web 1.0, that's kind of what it looks like, but they continue to provide new content. Fittingly, everything you wanted to know about this generally forgotten puzzle game is here. The Gubble News tab is also very interesting. It states that there will be a Steam release of this PC upscale and a full-on remake later this year. They also claim that Gubble 2 will get a remake as well, and the website will be updated. However, it's the middle of August, and so far none of this has happened. But with all this promise, let's see if Gubble lives up to the expectations. When you first boot up the game, you're greeted by a bad MIDI file that calls itself the main theme. Most of the soundtrack is bad. The instruments are low quality and the music is atonal and repetitive without a catchy melody. Simply put, it's really annoying. And this whole game is dated. I do like retro games, but some things don't age well, like Donkey Kong 64 and the first Fire Emblem game on the Famicom. Hopefully, in the supposed remake, they will update the assets and fix the gameplay, but they probably won't fix the music, because they call the composer legendary after working on one game. Yikes. There's actually a story to this game, but it's only referenced in the manual, not the game. Gubble D. Gleep is abducted by a UFO and was mistaken for a worker Gubble. Name your child after your race? Nice. He has to use various tools to unscrew and take apart these dangerous levels, called Zimbots, in order to get home safe. According to Gubble 2, he's a teenager. Essentially, the whole plot of Gubble is forced child labor, which is fun for the whole family if you ask me. So anyway, you start out in this semi-interactive level select with way too many save points. You have one objective in the game: destroy all the Zimbots. There are 10 worlds where Gubble has a whole arsenal of tools he can wield, such as a Phillips screwdriver, a hammer, a bolt remover, and many more, including a very annoying tall screwdriver. Why is it annoying, you may ask? So, basically, a main mechanic in the game is pressing the spacebar to hover over enemies while staying above the tool. But, with the tall screwdriver, you can't just release space and get back on the tool. You have to go around, making you susceptible to taking damage. Although some bad guys can harm you even if you're hovering. With the tall screwdriver being much taller than Gubble's hover, you have to go around and get back on. Kind of a minor nitpick, but some levels are way harder than they need to be. On first impression, Gubble seems like an easygoing puzzle game that will be a breeze. The levels are simple and fun to complete on the first try, until the difficulty curve hits. And oh, it hits. Around the end of the second world, the game becomes more challenging. Actual Entertainment could have eased into the difficulty, though after the first world, you get used to it. But from that point onward, Gubble is pretty much the same. Dodge enemies, pick up tools, unscrew the Zimbots, repeat. Only variation it has are the occasional bonus Zimbots, which is either a death run just for some lousy points, or a 20-second collectathon, also for points, but this one can give you health. Oh yeah, another annoying addition is that Gubble sounds like a minion, and unless you're a Facebook mom in her mid-40s, that's not really a good thing if you ask me. Gubble is just flat out annoying. You know what else is annoying? The bad game design in the later levels. It can be more challenging than it needs to be. Enemies can get stuck in places, making the level unbeatable, and screws can be placed so you don't have to take a hit. When they have this many levels, it feels like they didn't playtest them enough. And past World 7, it feels like a rage game. All these unfair mechanics and more are just a part of every level. And a lot of rage games are designed well. Take my favorite game of all time, V. It has great music, a fun story, and most importantly, fair difficulty. And you could say that about Cuphead as well. The levels may be challenging or even more challenging than Gubble, but if you die, it feels like your fault and your lower skill level, instead of a broken AI and bad levels. So, is Gubble worth the $5? Yes. Even though beyond World 7 it becomes a poor designed mess of a game, 70% of the game is pretty fun. Though I wouldn't recommend it for everybody. As I stated before, it's frustrating and isn't designed or programmed the best. I feel that some puzzle and arcade fans might find worth in this game. But will I review the second Gubble? No.